Sticks and stones may break my bones, but mean comments will crush my soul. Today in the hangar.
Hello, welcome to In the Hangar. Poor Christy. I'm Dan Milliken.
And I'm Christy Wong.
Today we are sponsored by Wingfield Aviation and Flying Eyes Sunglasses. Do you like your Flying Eyes?
I love my Flying Eyes. As you can see, they're well loved.
And we are at Stearman Field in Kansas, the last day of the ACCAs. And we are going to have a special episode here where we're going to address comments that we get asked that a lot. How do we deal with comments and everything else? And we thought, who better to talk about mean comments than Just Plain Silly's Brian Turner?
What are these mean comments you speak of? I'm not familiar.
I'm calling BS on that because I know the FAA has left you mean comments.
I understand they left me a mean comment this morning. I heard about it, and it's kind of made me sad.
I'm writing one on your channel right now as we
A mean
speak.
comment for me? Okay.
Of course.
Well,
Now you can join the club and be able to address. Otherwise, why are you sitting here?
that's a good point. So, and if you're watching this right now, I would ask that on this particular video, only mean comments. That way you get a sequel.
No,
Dude.
No.
It's
Let's just shut comments off for this video.
Right. Okay, so Chrissy, you bring up "Crush My Soul." That was pretty funny, and sad at the same time.
All right, so we're going to be reading some mean comments here with Brian. I was going through some of them yesterday, and there's some real winners in here.
Well, and we should probably address this. Christy and I and Kevin, we spent the whole dinner last night going through trying to prep for this episode, and it was hard. Predominantly really good, encouraging, nice comments.
Like
and
99% of our comments are actually really, really nice and very encouraging.
Yes, and for you guys who do that, and it's most of you, it really means a lot. It really impacts us.
Yeah, for those of you guys that actually leave the nice comments, you're the reason why we do this. So thank you. But for those of you that leave the not so nice comments, we're about to get into it right now.
Okay, so with that, since I'm looking right here at my my screen, I will have to say, let's bring up the live show comment.
Yes.
Where the guy said it was incredibly rude of me to be reading my smartphone while we were doing a show.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, you had to.
Well, I typed it. That was
Yeah.
it was seriously.
You had to because during the live stream, of course, we were asking the audience.
We were getting feedback
to
from the
get in, yeah.
audience at home,
Type
and I was
in.
reading their comments.
Reading the questions to ask the DPE. So I thought that was kind of fun. Here's one for you specifically. Dude, what happened to your hair? Looks like you're ready for boot camp.
The coronavirus. I got a Rona cut.
Yeah.
And I still have not gotten a cut since my Rona cut. It's crazy.
At least you have hair now, though. That's
Oh my gosh.
encouraging.
I did not brush. I'm serious. This is not an exaggeration. I did not brush my hair for 3 months. I didn't have enough to brush.
So you probably had lice, is what happened. Then you had to shave it all off. I mean,
Go over here.
yeah.
That's why
That's
we are
actually
social
social
distancing.
distancing.
Yeah.
It's not for COVID. It's for lice. Oh God.
Yeah. So, but again, people on that particular video, this was the video where you had that yellow jacket in the airplane.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh, and then just one comment. Clickbait.
Oh my goodness. And not a real emergency.
I'm
Dude.
sorry. I'm sorry. A yellow jacket in the cockpit. That is a real emergency.
I've had it happen, and I got out of the. I was on the ground when it happened, and I this is the fastest I've ever gotten out of a plane in my life.
Yeah, I mean, and I was in climb, so I couldn't quite get out of the airplane.
I still might opt for that egress.
That's why you carry a really rotten handle. Hammer.
It's hers now.
Yeah. Gosh.
All right. Okay, I've got one. Hey, maybe it's the same guy. Hey, dude. Okay, so set it up. This is a recent video. It's the video where I did a commentary on the Premier One driver thing, the Centurion that busted Vegas Bravo, and I addressed the issue of masks. Now we are social distancing here. For me, I'm when I'm in proximity to people, I'm masked up or whatever. Hey, dude, let me see you mask up for flu season because flu is more deadly. Oh, wait, bet you never have. You sound political to me. So, blah, blah, blah. So keep your BS out. So I guess what he's saying is you're masking up for corona, but you don't mask up for flu, so you're a hypocrite.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
think that's what he's saying. And all I would say is, and also there's been some, the whole thing. I said, let's not make this political.
For sure.
It's not political. Of course, there's studies out that an N95 mask does this and doesn't do this, and the cloth masks are a joke, and yes, most of that's true. But I go back to the meme that's in that video where you got two naked guys, and he says, if naked guy pees on me, my leg will get wet. If we're both wearing pants, my leg won't get wet. And we're talking about air droplets, so sure, it's not perfect, but I will tell you this. We've been isolating with my family for 5 months.
Yeah.
We've been wearing masks. We've been spraying mail. We've been disinfecting. We've been the crazy people, right?
I will say you are the person who I think is taking this the most seriously of anyone I've met with regard to how
Same.
you
Okay,
can.
so in our extended family, almost 20 of us, nobody's had a cold in 5 months.
Sure.
Nobody's had flu. Nobody's had
But
anything.
the lice is out of control.
But the lice, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, the lice is out of hand.
I think that the biggest takeaway of all of that, though, is just be kind to each other. Just be respectful of each other. I mean,
But why? Then we wouldn't get to talk about these.
this is true, but it's so hard. Like I just want everybody to be nice. But here's one where this guy says, "You folks need to get out of the hangar every now and then." I can't say what he said, but he says GD it. Where the hell are all the airplanes? Is your editor on vacation or what?
Oh. I remember that comment. That comment was on one of the In the Hangar episodes where I interviewed the Air Force maintenance guy, the maintainer. So, and actually, although it's somewhat mean-spirited in the way the comment was delivered, I actually agree with the comment. That, and it's something that I've addressed with me and my production team, is that when we do the videos, we gotta have B-roll. We need to see planes. A In the Hangar episode where we see no planes is really boring. And so right now, let's see a plane. Okay, there we go. Good. So we'll lay one down in editing, you see. Yeah, no, we're a real one.
A real airplane, Brian.
So anyway, it was a good comment. So I agree with that comment, and I'm making sure that we always have B-roll.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
mean-spirited in its delivery, but truth in its content.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you guys a question. So for me, I've had a major shift in how much these mean comments bother me or whatever. Like early on, I would hurt my feelings. People would say mean things because predominantly the comments are like 99.9% really great.
Yeah.
And I love reading my comments. I love interacting with the people. But then I would see one that's mean and I just have a bad day. And,
No,
I'm at
yeah,
that point
so,
now, I would
yeah.
say in the last probably 8 or 9 months, I'm like, I don't even, like if you give me a mean comment, what I typically do is pin it to the top. And I'm like, I'll just pin that, make it the top mean comment, and then the other people will
The
kind
other
of.
people defend you.
Yeah, but it's like, I like literally don't care at all.
Well,
But it used to bug me so much. I'm wondering if you guys have ever had that where like.
yeah, absolutely. Like, so when I first started this, you can ask Dan. I was like, Dan, I don't know if I can do this. Somebody left a really mean comment
I told
about
her to stop
me.
reading them.
Yeah,
So you know what Dan started doing actually, which was really, really helpful in the beginning? He started I wouldn't read the comments. He started forwarding me all of the nice comments to show me how much the audience appreciated me and what I was contributing to the show and stuff.
Could you forward some to me?
Sure,
That would be nice.
sure.
He,
They'll be about I like your sectional leggings.
That's
You
fine.
know-
That's fine. Can I
you
get
know,
some
Dan has
sectional
been doing
leggings?
this Dan's been doing this for such a long time, and I think he had already developed that thick skin.
Yeah.
And I was so new
Somewhat.
to this. Yeah.
Well, okay. So I'll tell you this. Really, Brian?
Leave a mean comment about how rude it is for me to answer this. It's a extended car warranty call. There's probably someone going to leave me a live mean comment.
So go to Just Plain Silly to leave a comment about how Brian leaves his phone on in a studio interview. So I'll tell you this. Comments can bother. And for me, the comments that hurt the most are the ones that actually have some truth in them. There was a video that I did where I made some mistakes and I left that in there because I'm trying to be real. I'm trying to be, I don't want to just show how great of a pilot I am. I mean, because I don't think that really teaches anybody
You
anything.
could make a whole video.
I'm like, where's your page? I'm gonna leave.
I'm like the mean comment guy over here.
I'm going to go ahead and just leave a comment right now for
Yeah,
you.
thank you, I
On
appreciate it.
behalf of you.
So there was some truth into what they were saying, and there are some people who comment regularly, very critical but constructive, and I learned so much.
Constructive feedback is different though. Constructive feedback is good. When people make helpful suggestions, I actually respond to those comments now. So now I'm actually, I can read the comments and actually respond. And it's usually like, thank you for watching the show. Number one, because obviously you watched it to, be able to give us this feedback. And some of those comments do help, but it's when they cross that line,
When they're mean-spirited.
yeah, when they're just mean-spirited and they're just doing it to be ugly, you know what I mean? But I actually carried on a conversation with somebody who gave some feedback, and then, I engaged because it was constructive. And it was a very respectful back and forth, and I felt like, okay, this is good. Like, it's those kind of, comments that I can handle. But it's the ones where people are just like really mean for no reason, and they start nitpicking your flaws.
Well, yeah. So you have the mean-spirited ones, but then you have just the loons. Okay, you might have seen one or two. So here's somebody on a recent video that we did with Blanco Lirio from here. I like your program, very formative. But when plane crashes are discussed, there's an underlying story to the subject. It goes into a really long thing here. And I'll just say, when a plane crash occurs, ask yourself who was on board, not how it happened. 7 out of 10 crashes are intentional.
Well, now, so here's the thing. In Brian's case, that's true.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah. Oh, no.
Oh, and then somebody else commented, like, how many layers to your tinfoil hat? I love that comment.
There you go. So I'll tell you the thing that I get the mean ones where it's just people that are just like, I've said this a few different videos. One guy just flat out doesn't like me. I know who he is, and he just left a comment that said, "You deserve to be on an NTSB report." And I was like, what a horrible.
That's not okay.
That's not
Oh,
okay.
God.
Oh
that
my
is bad.
God.
I know, and I know who he is from other flying forums, and he hates my guts. And I'm
Why
okay
don't
with
you
that.
just like block him?
Why?
Yeah,
You
okay,
know?
because you're actually encouraging it
No,
now.
I don't
Well,
care.
and going back to the constructive criticism, because I just pulled this one up, I have changed the way I fly due to some of the comments.
Really?
Yeah. I do some things differently now because of the comments they have. And you got to remember, I'm a real new pilot. Chrissy's a new pilot for the most part. I mean, under 5 years, and I fell into bad habits that old instructors. I never did any traffic in the area. Please advise.
Oh God,
But
No,
I would say taking
never.
the active,
no.
and
Still do.
well, I don't. I mean, somebody commented, and here's the thing about that. I'm not a precise person. I'm a fly by the seat of my pants person, and I realized that if I'm going to be a really good pilot, I need to be precise, and it doesn't come naturally to me. And so these comments have helped me focus on being precise. Hey, look, using the term active is not a precise term.
No.
So I simply
you know
say,
that.
Centurion 4620 Yankee 14 South Departure Hicks.
Yeah, that's more precise. I like that.
And what's funny is that now I find I've been in a situation where I needed precision and it was there. So landing on a ranch road out, somewhere, I had probably a foot or two on each side of the wheel, and I'm coming in at 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, and I put that thing right there in the center.
Yeah.
And that felt good because I'm not a precise guy.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so comments like that. So here's one. I made a comment about taking off in IMC, and I made a comment that I needed to go because as this is business, so I fly for business, and so I've got a client who's waiting for me to shoot something.
Yeah. Remember that video?
And I'll file IFR and I'll take off and I'll go. And so I made a comment that, maybe I'd make a different decision if it was just me doing personal flying for fun, I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
Somebody made a comment that what the difference does it make, whether it's business or personal, and they're right.
Yeah.
They're right. I can't argue that one. And so now I'm not going to, I actually had that description. I had it in my description of the video. I deleted that part of the description. and they're right. There's no difference. If I won't fly certain kind of weather for personal, why am I doing it for business?
But that's the difference. Like you were talking about constructive criticism versus just mean comments. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't a mean comment. That's someone.
No,
like,
absolutely.
No, and it wasn't mean-spirited.
Yeah.
but that's like actually that's helpful.
Yeah.
Right. So I kind of want to go back to some of the sillier, crazier, I don't want to say loony comments, but that's what that is. We had one particular person that said on one of our DPE videos, really, you / they start off your vlog with out to lunch with Joe Biden. Sorry, man, you lost my subscription. Toodles.
Shut the channel down.
Yeah, basically. So apparently this individual does not know how YouTube works. YouTube, we have no control over the ads that get placed on our videos. I mean, some of the videos or the ad videos that I get, I'm like, why would I even? But yeah, so just for the general public out there, we don't get to choose the ads that are placed on our video, unfortunately. But
Yeah, so we lost a subscriber because there was a Joe Biden political ad on the front of one of our videos. Like, okay, if he's that naive, then maybe we don't need him as a subscriber.
well, you know, the thing is, honestly, I think that my favorite part about that whole thing was that he gave us a send-off of Toodles. So yeah,
Oh, I hate
he
to
said
lose that.
Toodles. I know. So I'm actually kind of bummed. I would have loved to see what kind of other comments he would have left on future videos.
Yeah, that's too bad. Well,
Yeah, it is
toodles.
too bad.
You
Toodles.
guys probably don't get these, but my favorite are the people who come to my channel and don't realize that it's a satire.
Oh.
Even though you write a satire in the title, you write a satire in the description, you say it on camera, and you wear a shirt that says satire.
Yeah.
People come in like, this isn't enough information. You can't learn to fly a plane. People, you're not doing this right or something.
Yeah. How can you rent airplanes with flat
For
tires?
those people, I'm like, okay, I have to apologize and explain, like, you don't come here to learn
Yeah.
anything. There's no
Well, you
quality
do. It's just the
information.
opposite of what
Right.
you're doing, essentially.
I would say maybe once a month I get someone who comes in and will start commenting, and I'm like, oh, this person thinks they were probably Googling like how to do something, and my thing got mixed in their their search
Thanks,
results.
YouTube.
And so
All right. Well, with all the airplanes going by and our bad audio, here's a question talking about production value. Or here's a comment. I normally like watching these videos, but I couldn't get past the poor audio this time.
Oh, I know which video you're
Yeah.
talking
So
about.
I had we had hastily camered up the Wong Warrior, and you took Hannah out for discovery flight.
Correct.
And I had connected the audio to your back seats. And I think that there's a different volume control in your audio panel for the back seats.
Yeah.
It was just overmodulated.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. That's the problem with us is that, like, with what we're doing here in the studio,
It's very controlled.
I've got a crew. I've got a
Yeah.
sound guy who is listening right now on the headphones and can tell me that there's lots of planes flying by. But when we're doing airplane videos and we got GoPros and we're connecting to the mic system for these 50-year-old airplanes, there's going to be buzz, hum, overdriven. But anyway, it was really bad. I agree with him.
Yeah.
It was really bad. But so then you weigh, well, do we just not release the video?
Yeah.
And so I decided, I'll release it. I'll do the best I can do to heal it in post.
Maybe what we can do on the next video that occurs is that we just put something on there that says,
I did.
oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It had a disclaimer.
Oh,
on it.
gotcha.
Oh, it did.
Oh, so even with the disclaimer, they were still not, maybe maybe you should have used a bigger font. Speaking of that video, we got a comment on there that was 2 blonde women flying an airplane. What could go wrong?
wow.
Yeah.
Does that mean?
I mean, I think it was more along the lines of being silly, but still.
Yeah, I guess people, yeah. And along those lines, there was somebody who commented, let me pull this one up. I flew Braniff out of Dallas Love Field as a kid. The planes were all different colors and in great shape. The stewardesses were all beautiful and weighed less than 120 pounds. It was the end of flying in style. I guess
I have nothing to say about that.
You can't.
You can't. I mean, that's just.
I won't even touch that. Well, this person left me a comment. It wasn't really mean, but people love my last name. They called me Master Obi-Wong.
No, but I missed that one. I never saw that comment.
Yeah, it's Master Obi-Wong.
Oh, that is too funny. That's funny.
Yeah, so from now on, when we're in the airplane together, BFRs, whatever, I demand Master Obi-Wong.
Okay.
Okay, well, speaking of which, that same day, I did another video. The same day you did the Discovery Flight with Hannah, I did one where I did a single camera, and and I with you, and I flew the Wong Warrior with you for the first time, and somebody wrote, "I'm stressed just watching it. Let him fly the plane. Micromanaging much?"
Oh, yes. Okay. So that day, we were going in the Wong Warrior. I was letting Dan take the controls, and Dan explicitly said in the beginning, I want you to talk through everything so that the viewers can see everything that we're doing. Explain it to me like you would as a CFI.
Yeah, I told Christy, I told her at the get-go that I want you to do like all the talking, really walk through every step.
Every step.
So I had instructed her to do that, and it went on. I can understand. Oh, so somebody followed up on that person's comment. Christy is one of my favorites. I believe she was completely overboard with telling him every single move to make as though he's a student on his first flight.
Well, that was the point.
Which is exactly what I told her. Treat me as a student on my first flight.
It's hard though because they don't know.
They don't know that.
Yeah, I
that
know.
she's
They don't know the
so-
direction.
Well, you know what's funny is that we'll get comments like that too, where Christy, you didn't explain it enough. Christy, you're not talking enough. I want to hear more. I want to know more. And then on the exact same video, Christy, you're talking too much. Christy, you're over explaining
Yeah,
things.
so that's one thing. Yeah, most of the time the mean comments don't really bother me because it's just, I know that I know it's just not true.
Yeah. What's funny, interesting, the takeaway from all this is we read the comments, we think about the comments. Like it does impact what we're doing. Like, it's like I go through, I mean, obviously we're sitting here talking about our comments. I don't have my phone out because I remember them, the ones that stand out. And so I love that people comment on the videos. I like making a video, but I love going in afterwards and like interacting. with people
Yeah,
and stuff. So-
absolutely. I love interacting with the fans. I love interacting with the people that watch our videos. We can't thank you guys enough. But just every now and then you get that one zinger, and it will ruin my afternoon. Just be like, ooh, man, they really went for the groin on that one.
Well, I hope that you can get to a place where it doesn't hurt.
It's getting easier. And honestly, it's the reason that it's getting easier is because I'm getting a little more desensitized to it. And I'm realizing when I read the comments, like you're talking too much, and then 2 comments later, you're not talking enough.
Yeah.
What
That
I'm
was
realizing is you can't please everybody, and we're trying our best, honestly. And sometimes our best, like we learn things from it, and then we get better, which is awesome. But
It's funny the gray area thing because I've had people comment on my
Here goes Lockheed.
airplane.
2 big radial engines.
Feel that.
dude.
I was going through the comments on a video, and like one person was like commenting about how these are like dad jokes or something, and the next guy's like, you're way too close to the edge, and I was like, I have no room to maneuver. Like,
Yeah, you are at Coffin's Corner right now.
I'm like, okay, I can't make either of you happy. Like,
Yeah.
I try to keep it as PG as possible or whatever. But
And the thing is, part of me just wants to go and delete the comments, but I don't now. Like, I think we just leave them because what winds up happening is an amazing phenomenon. Our other viewers start jumping in, and they start defending us, which is incredible because we don't have to say anything. Like, we don't even have to address it.
Yeah.
do you guys ever fight back? Like
Well, okay, I'll address that. So, first of all, I do try to read all the comments, and I try to respond to a significant number of them. It's really important to me. We're small enough. We're not, getting, Blanco Lirio's 2,000 comments a day, but
Right.
we're at the stage where we can still respond to pretty much everybody, and I try. And so when the comments come in, and we get somebody who like doesn't know that I told Christy this direction and they're commenting on. So there's a reasonable explanation as to what happened. I'll go in and offer that reasonable explanation to the person. So like in the case where they were criticizing Christy, I jumped in and I said, she did that because I instructed her to do that. But what happens is that more often than not, unfortunately, it won't be like, oh, okay, get it. Okay, thanks.
No, they dig
double
their
down.
heels in.
They double
They
down.
double down, and they're
so
like, oh, well, still.
Recently, on one of our most important, impactful videos is the slips and skid video.
Yeah.
Okay, and I had somebody railed on it, like left 3 comments in a row, and each comment was War and Peace as far as its length, and to the point I don't know I can read all this, and the gist of it was how bad and how important it was that we tell people this is incorrect and this is wrong, when like 99.9% of the people were like, wow, this is amazing, and this really, and what he thought was the reason why he thought it was wrong was a misunderstanding on his part, and he even admitted somewhere in the fine print of his novella, even in the fine print, he said, "I'm a student pilot." So, and I tried to get him to understand, but he kept doubling down, and it got worse and worse. And so that was one of the few I just deleted.
You know what? Honestly, I want to address that because I've seen it not just on our pages, but on multiple YouTube channels where the student pilots come in and they start critiquing, criticizing. I mean, there are
Greg,
so many.
Yeah, but when you're a student pilot,
you want to prove yourself.
You do, and I go back and I see, and it's a funny phenomenon. I see people doing that when they're new into flying and they say stuff, and I'm like, this is a phase that everybody goes through. Because I remember being that guy going, oh, I know, I want you to know that I know, and saying these things in hindsight, going, probably would have been better just be quiet and let the people.
Yeah, and pilots as a whole, are very type A, and I want to know it all, and I want everybody to know that I know it all.
But there's a funny phenomenon with that too, though, is that the more time you build, the more certificates and the more ratings you get, the more you realize I don't know anything, and I think you start pulling back on it and realizing how silly you look by like, oh, that's part 61, whatever,
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, okay, so what's your takeaway, Chrissy? Where heard Brian's takeaway?
Honestly, my takeaway is keep the comments coming, please. We love the comments. We love interacting with the viewers. And we want to get your feedback, honestly. Tell us what we can do better. A lot of you guys have actually posted stuff on there, and we've gotten really great show ideas. Tell us what you like about the channel. I mean, you're welcome to tell us what you don't like.
Right.
But
prefer not to do it mean-spirited, or we will probably show it to the world in a form like this.
Oh my goodness. But I mean, honestly, we love you guys. We love interacting with you guys. Keep them coming. That's my takeaway.
All right.
I just want to add, this is 12 minutes I'll never get back.
Well, which is funny because it's a 25-minute episode.
It's all the parts with Brian in it. That's got to be clipped out.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching this. Leave really good comments. If you got bad comments, it's just plain silly. And we'll see you guys next time.
In the hangar.